So, I've been trying to follow up with the news of what's happening with VDM. There were protests today in Abuja and in other places seeking for the release of VDM. BBC News Pidgin on their Facebook handle, they posted that they interviewed the spokesperson of the EFCC, and that the spokesperson said that there were several petitions against VDM. So BBC News Pidgin then asked, was one of the petitioners GTB Bank? And the spokesperson said they are protecting the identity of those who wrote the petition, and that he will soon be charged to court and that they follow due process. So when BBC News Pidgin posted that, another journalist, Rufai Hussaini of Arise News, also picked up on that news and also posted. EFCC itself has social media handles on X, on Facebook. They did not release any official statement. But when they now saw the report from BBC News Pidgin and from Rufai of Arise, they now screenshotted those reports and labeled it fake news and posted it on their handles, fake news, without providing an official context, without providing an official statement stating what actually transpired, which is quite surprising. Then TVC News, they had a report that said that a very dark man was arrested outside GTB Bank by a combined force of the EFCC, the police, and the DSS. So, which brings other angle to the issue. The question is, why would the DSS be involved? EFCC is kind of part of the police, but the DSS is kind of separate, right? So, why would they be involved? Why would they need that level of combined force to arrest one person? This was somebody who said that the mother, the bank, they were deducting money from the mother's account, salary account, and that he was going to the bank to complain. This wasn't somebody who was hiding. You knew he was in town. You knew he was going to the bank. He could easily have been invited to the EFCC. And I'm sure he would have gone. He could have been given a warrant and demanded that he should appear. And I'm sure he would have, observed that. So why would they need a combined team of different security agencies to arrest him? They arrested him, they covered his head, and all of that. Was that necessary? Then another piece of news, Vanguard reported this evening that a source from the EFCC said that VDM will be released tomorrow. We'll wait and see. Deji Adeyanju, the lawyer of VDM, who was out of the country, said he arrived in Nigeria today. He went straight to see VDM, and that the EFCC did not inform him about the reasons why he was arrested, and that the EFCC said there were no petitions against VDM. So we have varying stories. There are petitions, there are multiple petitions, there are no petitions, So what one wonders what's really going on. And in addition to what the BBC News Pidgin said that if Very Dark Man meets bail conditions, that he will be released. I wonder what those bail conditions are. So, let me just say this. We have this mentality. It's a common mentality that we Nigerians have. If you have a little influence, if you have some money, some wealth, some recognition, some power, the next thing you start boasting, I will lock you up. If you have an argument with someone, the next thing, I will lock you up. Even people that don't have much, if you're arguing with somebody, you say, I will lock you up. Because there is this mentality we have that if you have influence, you have power, you can just lock people up. You can just use the police to lock people up, which is quite wrong. I'm not a lawyer, but we have heard that there are civil disputes. Civil disputes does not involve any criminal offense, are not meant to be settled by the police. If you're having a disagreement with somebody, an argument over something, you understand? Why would you involve the police? Involving the police is just trying to show that you have power and all that. So, we have this mentality of locking somebody up. If somebody is locked up, you say, I locked him up. I locked him up. Some will say, they will even lock him up and throw away the key, So, it doesn't speak well of our society when we think it's easy to just lock people up. It doesn't speak well. And it's not a good thing to say you lock people up, even when the issue at stake is a civil matter. Now, as to the issue of if somebody writes petition to police, person gets picked up, person gets arrested. Me, I don't understand that. As a layman, I'm not a lawyer. As a layman, what I understand is if somebody writes petition against you, the person is complaining about something. The person is alleging something. That is the person's account, right? So, and you can't rely on one account. You have to invite or call the other party and say, see, Mr. A wrote a petition against you. Come and defend yourself. If somebody says you did something wrong, like somebody accused you of doing something wrong, then they should call you and say, see the accusation against you. What do you have to say? A petition shouldn't be a warrant of arrest. A petition is simply a letter written to an agency to look into an issue. It shouldn't mean that the person should be arrested. But we have this mentality of picking people up. That if you are the first to go to court, if you are first to go to police station to report a case, automatically it means you are on the right, and automatically it means the person you are complaining about should be picked up. Which shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be like that. If you make a complaint, the police are meant to investigate, and interview those involved. And the first thing should be to invite the person. Invite the person, tell the person you have a case against you. Come and defend yourself. It's as simple as that. It's only when the person refuses to honor the invitation and the person refuses to show up that you take more aggressive action. Why would you take a combined team of armed men to pick up somebody because there's a petition? And what I don't understand is this. You pick up somebody wrote a petition that you defamed him and you pick the person up. Defamation means the person lied against you and the person is picked up. If somebody lies against you, what is the criminal offense there? If the person threatens your life, the person threatened your business or your person, and you fear harm, right? The person may harm you. You understand? That is understandable. But for somebody to just say something you regard as false, as not true, why would you not pick the person up? Said you lied. It's simply a civil matter. It's not something criminal. And what we do know is if there's a libel or a slander, or somebody says something that is defamatory, you can sue the person to court. And if the person is found wanting, the person can be fined to the tune of millions. And when the person pays, if it's a newspaper or something, when they pay a huge amount of money, they learn. Sometimes they even retract the story. So it's quite unfortunate that in this country we live in a society where people are easily picked up and where people are being picked up because they said they lied. So these are some of the developments, and I think it's quite unfortunate, and it doesn't speak well of our society. So once again, I want to appeal, and I hope that video will be released. It's looking like a civil matter, looking like somebody saying, you said something that you shouldn't have said. Then you take the person to court, and if the person is found liable, the person will be penalized for it. It shouldn't arise to the point of you trying to arrest the person as though the person were a common criminal or a top terrorist or something like that.